Hello, welcome to another Tuesday stream. Welcome to Interlagos, where we have a very colorful field today with 3 classes. I wish we had still 3 classes in WEC, but well, only reserved for ELMS. So, European Le Mans Series travels to Interlagos, and it will be a fun start to the stream. After that we go straight to COTA and we do the Porsche thing. One thing I always do with LMP2, put it to 380 and enjoy. Alright. Yeah, bonjour, bonsoir. I don't know exactly what it should be. About insider Bob knowledge, I mean, I don't really have any insider Bob knowledge for the Porsche. I just thought if I'm gonna ever take that car, this is a great chance to do it, to try to overcome my fears. Actually, maybe deep inside, I am maybe a Porsche fan. Who knows? So we have this one lap and I'll use it as pit entry practice and then straight to Quali. Whoa, okay. It's cold. Well, it's not that cold, but it takes forever to bring these tires up to temp. Oh, my chat is not updating. Ah, there we go. I mean, you know, we have COTA, and COTA has some traction zones and braking zones, and Porsche is normally good at that. And also we have a bit of rain, so maybe for round 1 it's gonna be actually a very solid pick. After that we will see. And now this is basically LMP2 open for me. I'm not even gonna do the pit entry practice. Oops. And we are kind of doing some some cooking on the LMP2 setup with Sven and Arda at Go Setup, so it will be available soon, but it's still not fine-tuned, so I might be a bit all over the place with slightly too much rotation at one point and slightly too little rotation at some other point, but overall it's a really fun car to drive, this ELMS LMP2. Finally a car which has a proper front downforce configuration. Pit entry is actually, or rather pit exit is actually quite tricky. You're expecting understeer, but actually can rotate quite a lot. Right, TC, I'm gonna put it 5.5 and let's remove the track map and see what we can do from here. I've not really done a proper quali run at all. Yeah, Davi, indeed, it's such a nice class. These tires, I mean, you know, at Silverstone on the release day there have been many spins with LMP2 at like well, it's not turns 3 and 4 because it's alternate configuration of track, but you know, if it's F1 corner counting, then turns 3 and 4 were super difficult and people kept spinning there, and actually I think in the race everybody, literally like almost everybody spun. Well, it was raining, but still, you know, it's really tricky. You cannot just push it like crazy. You can push it like crazy, but you need to have a lot of respect, and suddenly sometimes it bites you. But anyway, it's a really good and nice experience. It was quite a workout here. Nick, I'm doing well, I mean, I put my stream schedule in the description of the stream, so I do this, then I move to WEC experience at COTA, and then I move to championship at COTA, which should be same track. I got a bit confused because in the schedule there is still this bug where it sometimes shows alternate layouts, So I actually still don't fully know if the server was wrong or if the schedule was wrong. Because it was showing the national layout, but server was throwing us on the full layout. Anyway, I should be ready for both. And it's fixed setup, both COTA races anyway. I keep forgetting how high this LMP2 revs. Finally, like, this corner is easy flat. There is kind of front wing almost. I mean, it's not really a wing, but it's just the bodywork and the dive planes and so on. The splitter, it just pushes the front axle into the ground and you can just make the corner. It's so good. Alirio, I have not changed anything. It's just basically no additional effects in my SimuCube software. And I mean, the only thing I changed was that collision strength from 100 to 0, but it didn't really change anything. And yeah, John, it's Porsche with the fixed setup. I did some laps, it wasn't that bad. I crashed out, lost the rear wing, and then I did 2 laps without the rear wing in the wet, and because the speeds are so much lower, it was actually drivable. It was like 6-7 seconds off pace. I don't intend to try that again in the race anyway. I think this is gonna be more like of ELMS exhibition race if I don't mess up something completely, because the esporters are maybe just preparing for the championship race for tonight. But I've done like quite some driving. Like maybe I spent 2 hours earlier today because I was developing the setup for Go setup, so I will probably have significant pace advantage. But it's a short track and there is a lot of traffic, so it's gonna be fun either way. And the speed that one can carry in there, so crazy. Yeah, names it has cold tires. It takes, I mean, yeah, you see the lap times, right? It's now lap 4. And I'm still gaining second per lap. I saw some hot laps. I think 23.5 was the fastest one in like reference top or max grip conditions. So I'll be happy with high 23s. that means that low 23s are surely doable. One more attempt. Okay. $23.666. That's a solid setup base, I guess. 2 seconds ahead of P2. I might have overdone it a bit. But anyway, it's such a crazy car, it feels so good. Ah, he improved, it's 1.8 to P2. Okay. Let me not leak something as I try to load the race fuel, because again, we are developing this for Go setups, should be hopefully available tomorrow. I mean, not much really to click. At Silverstone it was a bit tricky because in Quali it was quite balanced, but then in the long run the rear rotation kind of became insane, so I'm just gonna do it rear wing +1 just to be safe. And of course we take new tire. And all should be set. Yeah, that was quite close for the pole, right? But it's gonna be fun race. It's again a very short track and there is gonna be a lot of traffic. Before somebody DDoSes me for hacking or whatever. Well, that's it. We have supposedly, I calculated maybe 29 laps, which is like a bit of refueling, but not too much. And one thing that we have to survive now is the race start. Because remember, as always, brakes on this car are cold. So need to brake drag all the time. Otherwise, no stopping power into T1. And I hope people behind understand it. Otherwise, maybe trouble. Hello, Alex. 39.7 at Monza. To be honest, I've not tried it. Wait, Le Mans spec LMP2. That's the WEC, right? Oof, I don't really know. Like, we did Monza fixed race previous week, but I forgot about the lap times completely. I would need to double check. Anyway, gonna be green soon. Here we go. just let me through, I think. Alright. I was a bit too cautious into turn 1, but you know, better safe than sorry. And off we go. And I will be still trying to maximize the race time, of course. And that means on fuel times too that a bit of lift and coasting is good. He is indeed Alex. I mean, you can quickly check my stream from previous week. I mean, that was my first 10 laps of the car as well at Monza, so maybe it's a reference. I think I did the WEC LMP2, and then I did LMP3 at Silverstone, and then I did the ELMS LMP2 at Silverstone. That was one week ago, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, the brakes on the LMP2, especially the WEC one, it's so difficult. Those of you who watched VCO ERL would understand. Anton, thank you for the sub, welcome. Yeah, we did the Bahrain with the LMP2 WEC version fixed. And it was proper esports, and the brakes on that track, like it's so difficult. And like people who like Derry McCormack, like one of the top esports drivers across all sims, like he spun into turn 1. Suddenly the brakes did something weird. Well, in combination with the way the tires produce grip. I was like a 10th or 2 off pace, but I kept it stable. But it felt like even the ACC pros struggled less than the R Factor 2 pros. It was quite funny to experience. But it's funny because basically on LMP2 now, probably it works for the ELMS version as well. You're able to stab the brake very hard initially, but then immediately you need to decrease the pressure, and you need to have it a bit more on the front lock-up side, not on the rear lock-up side. So deep into corners you will always feel the fronts pushing or locking a little bit, but that's better than having the rear being tricky somehow. Oh, and the car is quite strange over curbs. So some curbs which you would normally take, you do avoid with LMP2. feeling here at last corner of Interlagos, I don't even want to use that thing on the inside. Outside maybe, but on the inside it just does something, and that's fantastic, because in RF2 you were always abusing the curbs, unlike real life, but now I think this is super good and realistic. Yeah, it's rear locking initially, front locking at low speeds. It really needs some brake migration, but I figure out that that the best way to drive it's to just fix the brake balance when you're at high brake pressures, and then just deal with it at low speeds. Which means that deep into apex you will just have to use minimal brake input to avoid front lockup. But you will have gained so much time by being able to brake later and more comfortably. And braking zones like Bahrain into turn 1, that's even crazier than Monza into turn 1, because there is this stupid bump at Bahrain. Like, there is a very little bump, and you brake over it, and if bias is just a click too much to the rear, then within a couple of meters the rear will just violently snap as if the rear wing detached. Well, pace is good. Hopefully I'm gonna gain more than 1% DR for this. Oh, don't rejoin, thank you. Beautiful rotation. I'm really interested how LMP3 versus LMP2 is gonna feel here. Here it's so good that you can go around the outside and just like turn in, and it's just gonna grip. The downforce on the front is so beautiful. I think downshift to first works better for the engine braking. What are... I'm confused. Felt like they wanted to make me through on the inside, but that's always dangerous path to do. What I wanted to say was, it felt at VCO that for top esports plays it always makes more sense to do aggressive downshift to first and then short shift to second right as you go on throttle. but it's dangerous. Like this, you know. You try to do a switchback, you start making sounds like an animal as you try to catch the car. But I caught it. That's good. I mean, it is like on the GT3s to some extent. Sometimes you just need to carry the speed in a certain gear and then downshift very late into the corner. Or downshift early and then just have the, like, don't have to deal with the sudden increase of engine braking. Yeah, so basically fuel saving is very important here, in principle, because it's fuel times 2. So for every, yeah, despite having to refuel, every lift and coast, if it saves you like 0.3 liters, it maybe loses you a tenth or two, but because it's fuel times 2, it will save you maybe half a second in refuel time. That's the first LMP3 to negotiate. Somehow I felt like this was a good idea to go around the outside. Yeah, the LMP2 just lacks a little bit of power, so sometimes if you're used to hypercars, you think you're gonna get enough overspeed out of the corner like I did out of that slow ride on the inside or on the left side, but it just doesn't accelerate quick enough, so I had to back out of it, but all good. There is some curves that I trust, indeed. But there are some that I don't trust. It's gonna be 10 more after the pit stop. Could be 11 if I decide to go quicker. Apex was somewhere. fellow diabetic as well, or rather a fellow diabetic indeed, type 1. It's a little high, but that's fine. I have enough insulin in the system that towards the end of the stream I might need to even eat something. Slightly caught up as I watched him try to catch the slide. That's gonna be around outside, right? Well, Paolo, thank you for your sub. Now that the tires are slightly more worn, I can feel the rear starting to do something. And the rear is indeed a bit hotter than the front. Although that would mean that the rear should be gripping a bit more than the front on the left side. I'm glad I took +1 rear wing. Yeah, penicillin. Of course. I mean, if all esports races would be this easy to win, even though those with prize pools, then I wouldn't get bored. But I did need to check the setup. As I said before, that we are developing this for Go setups. That should be available tomorrow. And it's best to showcase and test it in actual race condition. And well, there is, like as I said before, 2 or 3 clicks of fine-tuning to do to just keep it slightly more safe. Dennis, yeah, you told me about it before. I keep forgetting. Well, the LMP3, well, that guy's P2, but the car is not slow, right? Like compared to LMP2. So there could be many occasions where it just makes more sense to lift and coast and save fuel rather than try to go for the apex. almost scared of myself as I instinctively downshifted to first. And then I was like, oh, please no snap. It was fine. Oh, sorry. That corner is still a bit tricky. I cannot get the front to properly bite, but maybe it's unfixable. Done 1 second per minute, feels good, right? And yeah, there was a Bob update indeed when the LMP2 or like rather ELMS content was released. There has been a significant Bob fix for the hypercars. He tried to turn in. Maybe I was slightly late, but he wouldn't lose anything by just lifting 5 meters earlier, or at least he would lose less than trying to block me. I mean, I surely still very much look forward to hypercar with new tires, and I really hope that, well, I mean, it does feel like the LMP2 tires and the LMP3 tires are maybe even slightly better than GT3, I don't know. It doesn't feel more difficult than GT3s, so, but it should be. GT3 should be the easiest. But maybe the hypercars get even more polished product in the end. That should be amazing to drive. What am I doing? It's never a good idea to force it around the outside of a GT3 on exit. It's just never gonna end well. Luckily there is a good runoff, so I just aborted Joker lap. Yeah, well, last lap before box. Let me not forget about it. Yeah, the slidey feeling in, like, especially the BMW. I think the BMW hypercar is maybe one of the easier ones to drive, or most balanced ones. And it really, it makes it kind of, it brings the best out of tire in the esports way, so it's super easy to just have it slide all the time, almost perfectly. With Peugeot it was much more difficult, because the front wasn't doing anything. But BMW just bites on the front and then the rear comes around and you do the corner and it's perfect. Box, box, box. No tire change, should be 10 more laps. I'm gonna put 11 just in case. You know what would be funny? If everyone else is actually fuel saving for a no-stopper, but it's basically impossible. No, it is impossible. Would have to save 8 more laps? 10, I mean, I'm doing 10 now. If you're saving from the... No, it's impossible. Everybody will box now. I'm not used to tire that has grip yet. I only practiced cold tire out of the pits. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. This is a tricky sector too to overtake. Again, there is just not enough power to instantly out-accelerate a GT3. Nice wobble. Hi, look. Well, it's going exceptionally well for now. It will be kind of a stream of a big contrast, as I feel really at home with this car and the setup is already great after a bit of clicking. But after that I go to Porsche fixed and I will have zero clue what I'm doing. That's an LMP2. I did lose the rear in that corner as well in practice, like out of nowhere, it just snapped suddenly. It was super confusing. Bit of understeer. Yeah, I mean, the Porsche, you have to ask me how... Yes, you have to ask me that in 1 or 2 hours. Pozdrav, Anthony. I use 49-inch ultra-wide Samsung C49 HG. Yeah, with this car you really need to know where the limit is. If you go above the limit you have already lost a bit of lap time. So when we were esporting the VCO ERL Bahrain combination with the WEC LMP2, I said a couple of times that it's like... it really drives like ACC. And I said that after having driven a lot of ACC like 3 weeks ago for the first round of VCO, where we drove the Camaro GT4 at Red Bull Ring. And some things were remarkably similar. Just the way how things behave on the limit. If you go a bit over the limit with the rear or the front, you instantly lose so much time. The limit is super hard to feel. But here in LMU for now, it's not easy to feel, but at least it's possible to kind of feel it. Actually, R-Factor 2 setups kind of work still. So if you have an old LMB2 RF2 setup, it's not gonna be too bad. It's just funny that some things like the third suspension now works. It didn't work in RF2, but it's kind of fixed, so it works now. Yeah, the setup does have to be a bit less extreme than in RF2 to keep it stable. But some important principles still apply. Saying that after doing only setups for Silverstone and halfway through for Interlagos, so maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like I kind of know. Not sure if he's lifting off there, or is that actually max LMP3 pace? If you mean my next race, it's gonna be at COTA. I don't know if... okay, he stayed off. I thought there was a chance of him completely cutting the corner and rejoining diagonally right into me. Okay, yeah. There is still this downshift issue. It does feel you need to work hard to induce more rotation, but sometimes, even in higher gear, the car is already rotating so well that just downshift to like a normal gear from third to second just creates a snap. So maybe we need to do a click or two on the differential. It could be just anti-roll bars as well. But maybe a click more of diff coast would work. You see, in third gear, rotation is great. But if I stay in third, I will have no power on exit. First and second gear really make passing of GT3s difficult. They are so long that it takes forever to build some speed. So three laps to go, yeah. Cannot be more than 3. Short gear stack, yes. Although I think if you go from low speed to high speed gears, you are only changing gears from 4th onwards. LMP3 versus GT3 versus LMP2. A sight to behold. And he's diving! Look at that! Well, I do want to survive. But I would be slightly mad if I was racing hard for some positions. Let's survive. Just 2 to go. Interesting looking Porsches ahead. Survived that as well. Yeah, I lapped a couple of LMP2s already. 1 to go. I think there is like 3 splits. So it's not the worst of competitions. And that's P6 without the rear wing. does kind of snap like the Lexus, just that it's more catchable. But alright. Let's see if the GT3P1 will want to do the extra lap, or if he brakes, he does the extra lap, okay. And I take the win by 48 seconds. Alright, well that doesn't happen often. Yeah, even the millimoles went down a bit. I mean, it's surely dependent a bit on the stress and the, like, whatever the hormones are, adrenaline, cortisol, and so on. Yeah, maybe the insulin started to work. Cheater. Alright. Best lap 1.6 quicker. Some races are good fun. Even if the gap is crazy. Okay, so many DNFs. Is there something to even look at in the replay? Just quick mess up of my braking point, maybe. I upshifted according to the WEC LMP2 engine. So it was a short shift and I lost a bit of drive. And then I broke like I'm in the hypercar. Oh well, all good. I think he just let me through. I don't know. Maybe it's TC. Yeah, because TC is like flashing. Not sure if you can see, maybe on this angle after it turns on. It goes like max min, max, like not max min, but full throttle. But yeah, if you have a bit higher TC, like 6, it's gonna cut a lot, and you will lose time in kind of flat out, but barely flat out corners. Anyway, I think everybody finished, so we will get the rating and the results and so on. Silver, yeah, and we don't get the plus minus anymore, but we learn now that when the last bracket fills, you're still silver. It doesn't jump to gold immediately when it fills. So I will need to gain a bit more. I don't know if it's 10 brackets, maybe I'm now above 95%, if it works like that. Yeah, Nick, I was 4-5 or 5-5. I think I went 5-5. But 4-4 is quite aggressive. That's a pillow behind my neck indeed. Like a weirdly shaped pillow. I mean, I cannot really move it now. Daniela, I wanted to do the Fuji event, but I'm away on some wedding party on Saturday and we sleep over to Sunday, so through the weekend I'm away. And on Friday I don't think I'll be doing it. So maybe, yeah, I'm skipping this one. 10 minutes to go till the next race. Let me register. I'm very close to Gold 1, looking forward. Daily WEC experience, this is the one. Diogo da Silva. That's a known name to me. And we do a register and we search for a very nice LMGT3. Here we go. And this will be a sunny race, and after that it's gonna be this one, which will not be sunny. Because there is quite some rain. Maybe better visible from here. Luca Berg. Okay. With the Ford. Gonna be a good race. Right, let's join. I am afraid of mid-engine very much. Right. Hello, Rodrigo. Got to give the other P2s a chance. Yeah, I mean, Gozi, I gave them the chance right at the start. Hi, Fury. Yeah, no traction on Friday. We thought of doing it with traction on Friday again, but there is nothing new. You know, like the engineering supposedly will not be enabled, so it's just another test event, and traction were like, well, maybe then we do something else. Then I don't really have liveries for all these cars, so I'm just gonna have the nice Porsche default, or like whatever this theme is. Porsche is worse. Yeah, I mean Porsche is mid-engine, but it's kind of a rare engine still. Yeah, the weather for Fuji will be interesting, I heard. Which is why I'm not happy to have to miss it, but oh well. So maybe let's just put our camera to Mr. Da Silva and watch him a little bit as I go for a very, very short break. I'll be back in 3 minutes. I need a bit of time to reconsider all my life decisions before I go for the torture of a lot of rare slide and a lot of spinning. Right, BRB. I'm back. Papa Yerny, join a wet prac server. I need to do a dry lap. Okay, let's quickly check what do we have here with the fuel. So I think I practiced with like something like this, and I went quite far with brake bias and a bit less max pedal force. ABS is balanced. I will maybe check that later as well. Which is the best GT3? Oh, I remember something. ISTs, settings, controls, calibrate, on. In before I get the crazy weird rotation from LMP2 that I prefer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea about GT3s. They got the BOP last week, so I don't know. Need to see. But Ford, yeah, you mentioned Ford. Ford is nice. On some track, it's been really solid car before, and maybe now after the BOP, it's even better. I'm scared. Like the rear just does this thing. It just rotates. Come on. It makes you feel like the rear is helping you to turn in a lot. It just starts to rotate without you wanting it, but then it's kind of stable if you don't overdo it, so it's not too bad. I have a fan as well, like this here. It's a very good fan. Watching this yellow Corvette makes me think that the Corvette drivers indeed have it even worse than the Porsche drivers. It's been a long time since I used my steering wheel in the correct way, right? I think this is first gear. Potentially. Yeah, Richard, I got the impression as well. For some time it's been crazy good in some conditions. So hopefully now it's a bit better. But we will see. The tires will take forever. Okay, let's join. Do we have any other names appearing? Joao is joining. Alright. Evening, Tom. Yeah, Dan, am I confused or are you confused by the schedule? I'm doing 2 times the same combination. I'm doing WEC Experience now. With the Porsche fixed. And I'm doing the online championship GT3 fixed with the Porsche as well in 1 hour. RIP Logi. Okay. A bit less fuel. A bit less TC. A bit less brake pressure. A bit less brake bias. It's unlimited tires here, yeah. For GT3 Fixed Championship we only have 1 set of tires for the whole event, for quali and race, so it's gonna be an interesting thing to decide what to do with. Yeah, the Mustang and the Merc should be pretty solid in straight line, always. I'm not sure about BMWs. They were kind of really good for some time, and then some bop happened, and then they were kind of good but not really, or really struggling on some tracks. So I thought that maybe bop makes them better, but then again, BMW really puts some temperature into front tires, which means that in colder conditions on tracks like Silverstone maybe, and potentially Le Mans and COTA and so on, it should be pretty good. But maybe it's gonna struggle on traction tracks in hot conditions. Hello Gokalp, my opinion on triple screen is that it's a pretty nice thing to have, but you surely need like the most NASA computer ever to run it in all conditions. Like I have 3080 RTX GPU, I have one of the best CPUs that you can get, the 9800X3D, and the CPU is fine, but I'm on the limit with my graphics. I need to run like medium details, and I have only 1080p ultra wide. So for triples, I don't know, like I don't know what I would have to have stable FPS where I want them. So above 130, let's say. And I don't really have space for triples, but there were several times where I wished I would have a little bit more of sight to the left and to the right, just to see where the cars are. Although the radar helps with that. Yeah, this is the WEC experience, so there is hypercars as well. That is the Silva. I was worried why I'm unable to close in on the GT3, but well, he's the fastest of the GT3s here on track, so 3080 Ti, I mean, you probably have more VRAM, right? I'm quite VRAM limited, sometimes 3D limited. And I'm rendering 12 cars, I think. Low post-processing and stuff. Okay, I'm catching up with the Ferrari decently, but I guess he is on full tank and I took Quali fuel now. Okay. Alright. 8-minute Quali. Gonna be 4 laps, 5 laps. I don't know even what fuel ratio that is. I'm just gonna go out and hope for the best. It's 3 point. I did overfuel a bit. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I really needed the CPU. Like as I started to stream with the old, what was it, like 12,600K, the Intel, or was it 13? I think it was 12. I don't even remember anymore. But it was just super bottlenecked with OBS running and encoding the stream. So that was really a fantastic investment. And the GPU is doing the job. of course. It even allows me to use a bit higher textures and even some shadows, although shadows are a bit more about CPU, I think, not fully sure. It's just these night conditions with a lot of cars and a lot of lights that create the struggle. You got the other X3D. Crazy then. Ooh, nice hyper. It's gonna be a very good event, I can imagine. Yeah, the hypers got bop. Everything got bop. 2 milliseconds CPU time. That sounds good. If it's consistent at 2 milliseconds. And yeah, Daniela, that's fixed setup. I mean, I hope it's fixed setup. I didn't really check. Or I didn't pay attention, but I think Wake Experience has always been fixed setup. Okay, Quali, here we go. What can the old Porsche do? No idea about brake bias, it feels like it needs to be quite rearwards. Suddenly the whole apex became white from the reflections. Where is the grip? I mean, tires are cold still. It's morning conditions, cold track. And the Porsche should be good in these conditions, I think, because it hits up the rear quite good, quite well. A hypercar bop, I hope it's good. We will see in the next weeks. But Fuji in VMS Pro was very decent. The BMW was very strong for sure, but not crazy strong. But it is kind of more of LMH track, or rather LMDH track potentially. Let's see Sebring for round 2. Maybe the Ferraris will be still 3/10 quicker. Come on. Seven tenths. I mean, yeah, it was more like just another warm-up lap. So, but yeah, but now I have to hit the apexes. I think the pole will be in the 9s. Should be 8s potentially. Another second that I have to gain. I heard crazy things about Alpine. I mean, it's never been really bad. It's just nobody took it. Just enough for provisional pole, but this lap now will be the most important. Such a beautiful rotation, actually. Not used to having that with front-engined cars. That's in low speed and on the brakes. Okay, back into P1, but P2 not improving that much. Ooh, that's close with the Aston. 7 milliseconds, crazy. The Silva goes into the last corner, misses the apex, spins around almost. Yeah, that's not gonna be a P1. Okay, a pole in the Porsche, good start. Oof. I mean, this Porsche is kind of fun to drive. It's a solid fixed setup, you know. So 40 times 60 divided by... Hi Nasher, thank you for your sub. 129. 19 laps we will do. And I kind of forgot what was the default fuel ratio. Load default setup. Eh? Did we have... What? Is that broken? I don't even know. .87. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened there. I hope I didn't break something now in the setup by loading the defaults. That was weird. So I said 19 laps, right? Yeah, should be 19. Maybe we take 20 just in case. 25 seconds to go. Yeah, the last lap was full push, so this should be fine. Should. 21.5, 22 on the calc. I mean, should be good. If not, I'll be lift and coasting like sometimes. What is that Ferrari doing? Yeah, first lap will be fun. At least I'm on the inside, which is such an advantage at COTA. Like for the start, because of the last corner. And it's gonna be green very, very soon. As we rocket off. Driver unknown was in the pits. Well, we survived. It doesn't bite on the front at all now on cold tires. Four tenths to Aston. Let's see the pace advantage on the top speed. I mean, that's not bad, right? He gained a bit, but it wasn't like the Aston with 10 kph top speed advantage against the Porsche that we've seen sometimes before the bop, or maybe on other tracks. Oh, but he's gonna be on my rear. Yeah, fuel makes it understeer, yeah. Wouldn't be the first time that I experience Porsches doing weird stuff with fuel and car balance. The crazy thing is that this is more stable than the Lexus. Or maybe it's less stable, but it's easier to manage on the limit in high-speed weight transition, at least on this setup, of course. LMU Nords. One day. I said last time that people who hack games and sell the hacks, they should hack Nordschleife into the game. That would be a hack that I can stand behind. Nah, I mean, I cannot say I stand behind any hacks. I don't, but it would actually maybe be in some aspect good for the game, right? That you can pay somebody €5 for a hack and then you can drive LMU hypercars on Nordschleife. You know what? The devs with the source code, or like with the developer tools, probably can easily copy-paste files from R Factor 2 and just kind of make it work. Well, we are pulling quite a gap behind, but the Aston will not let me enjoy alone in the lead. Which is good, because I need to be pushed a bit to find the limits of the car before I go into LMGT3 fixed race. Full Group C and GT1 fields, yeah, I mean... Dodge Viper V10 from 25 years ago. That has to happen one day. And if you cannot really sell Dodge Viper to enough thousand people, I would be sure you can sell the Mercedes CLK GTR to thousands of people, to tens of thousands of people. And the Mazda, yes. I'm gonna take that cut. Yeah, well, CAD, when I was at Spa 24, there were these support events with all these good old cars, GTs and the prototypes. What an experience. And then I was able to just casually basically touch them. I mean, I didn't touch them, but there were tents or garages and I just walked straight past them. Thankfully, or thanks to the Rafa VIP access, of course. It was a very, very nice experience.
Come on! That's a cut again. Nah. At least it's 0.25. I lifted too early, too late. I mean, the negative angle doesn't really mean you have negative downforce, right? Inverse rake and negative wing. Wait. That's a brain breaker. What do you even get then? Maximum rotation. No, wait, what do you get if you do that? You get massive understeer. But the rear is planted, but then you unplant the rear, so you basically what do you even get? Proper negative downforce on front and the rear. So maybe aero balance is great, but the car will the car will take off on the straights, yeah? Like not take off as go quick, but go into the air. Like a bit of a jump in the middle of a straight, or a bit of like decompression and like at radial let's say, and you just go straight into the trees. Tire saving, yeah, I mean, you will put very little energy into the tire, but can you make it not scrub the tire anywhere? Yeah, I would need just a little bit of front bite and then this would be perfect. Just a little bit more front bite on power. The Aston doesn't let me go though. I wonder in the long run, I mean now we have cold track, so The rear temps are spot on, but if I had 40 Celsius here, then probably I would be in trouble now, with Aston all over my rear. But overall, the balance of the setup and the tires is incredible. Did I ever drive this car after it got new tires? I think I just quickly drove a lap or two. But I'm actually quite surprised, like it's a really good car. Kind of changed my mind a little bit. I said a couple of times in past weeks that you really need to be a Porsche driver to enjoy or to be able to drive a car like this. But on this fixed setup, it's really good to just pick and drive. Predictable when pushing in all kinds of corners. But yeah, very balanced deck. Here come the hypercars. Yeah, low track temp is very important. Happily it's gonna be even lower in half an hour when we go from COTA to COTA and add some rain. Yeah, about BMW LMDH, I have a fear now. Basically, I have a really good setup for the car. Like a really solid base. From before VMS even started, from a year ago. Just from special events and so on. Well, not a year ago, because this tire arrived on the hypercars, well, 10 months ago. But even the old setup still kind of worked. So I have very well developed set for the car, and I fear that now if I easy win 1 or 2 rounds, it's gonna happen what happened to the Peugeot. Sudden bob hammer with 15 kilograms and suddenly it's gonna be terrible again. Maybe I'm thinking too much of that. But I mean, hopefully within a couple of months we have the new tire on the hypercars again, so That's gonna change everything once more either way. Right, the Aston is finally letting me breathe a little bit. Yeah, bop me, not the car. I mean, I'm trying my best to bop myself by not practicing too much for rounds, like for series like VMS, because I mean, it's really good to like for the content. Oh, orange cut! Don't do that to me. Okay, I'm gone away. And I mean, with the Peugeot, I tried super hard for 2 rounds previous season, like full esports, just to find any pace, but it was in vain. The car was too slow. We won't see actual proper Bob data until we get esports series with 10k euros plus prize pools. Because suddenly people will just find 1 or 2 settings somewhere and cars will just suddenly gain, like some cars will just suddenly gain 3 tenths out of nowhere. Maybe. If you only have a 34-inch monitor, I mean... But you mean if you should rise? Or I don't fully understand. I mean, if you have 34-inch, it doesn't really make much difference. If I had a 34-inch, what I could do is just change the field of view a little bit. So I use 26 degrees now. If I had less pixels on the sides, maybe I would go 30 FOV or 31, 32 and get used to that, just to have the extra visibility on the sides. Wait, what? Where did I get the track limit? I didn't even focus. Something is up with the dampers. Maybe the fast bump is too stiff, or maybe it actually needs it like that. But over the curbs on the apex, it's a bit bouncy. No worries, MG. All fixed setups are a little bouncy on the front. Okay, fair point. I mean, fixed setups tend to be stiff. Which is how they do it in real life, of course. The front is always relatively stiff. and that's a lot more raceable and drivable. But the balance of the front and the rear grip in LMU still allows for a very soft front. And this Apex is even stranger because it not only has the anti-cut that you can take, but it also has this dip kind of. Go play Minecraft. Ay ay ay. The fixed setups are depressing, more or less. But I would say that for the way I drive, which is by understeering into the apex and missing it by 10 meters, but like overall, I feel like that the mid or rear engined cars have good fixed setup for me, but front engined cars are way too understeery for me. I don't even want more rotation on the entry with this Porsche. Just on the exit a little bit. But it's spot on. Yeah, rear axle driving. If you master that, then you can get away with a lot more rotation on this car. But yeah, the way I drive is I carry the speed in, load front outside. Imagine I have a big front wing. Turn the steering wheel too much. Then imagine that the rear is gonna snap if I touch the throttle, so I try to manage it a bit, but basically I keep driving like I'm driving an F1 car, which is not the greatest for most GT3s maybe. Six to go. I have 8 laps of fuel. Well, spot on. Because I wanted to be slightly safe. And it's probably gonna be the extra lap anyway. Because the hypercars are the important class for the finish. The rear is on the limit, but then the front dies. Yeah, that's something that I will need to work on through this season of GT3 Fixed. I am understeering on the entries, like I'm walking the front. Maybe I need to go much more rearwards with the brake bias. Let me check 45. Maybe max rear is the way to go. And the rear is a bit more alive now. Maybe too much. 46. Thinking if I should do something with TC as well. Although the GT3 race will be wet. So I won't experiment with too low TC values. Finally remembered how to do that triple right-hander again. We do get the hypercars once more, right? Yeah, 2 seconds behind. I'm still doing that mistake of turning the steering wheel while still deep into ABS, and then I just scrub the front. That's actually fine on the Porsche probably, as the wear isn't the problem on the front. I get same delta in first or second. Okay. Interesting. What are they doing? I'm scared of that Valkyrie. Come on, go, go, go. Oof. Sector 1 at COTA is not the best place to get forced to observe the mirrors. So I imagine hypercars have 3 to go. Right, just 1 to go. DT for P4, interesting. Half a minute behind. Yeah, there is this weird orange cut that we get sometimes, and then it can be randomly like 1 or 1.5 points. Race for life, not really. The only freezes I get are when I'm in a practice server. Ooh. Don't accelerate! Well, that's one way to take out a leader, you know. I wanted to say I get the freezes when when people are joining in practice session. Anyway. Unbelievable. Well, anyway. P1. P1 is P1. That was very close to not being P1. I gave him so much space to overtake me, and then he spins, and his floors... luckily he smashed the brake. If he didn't, that would have been... he would have smashed into me if he didn't brake. Yeah, freezes and loss of FFB, or both. But that's when people are joining. Yeah, if you're in this situation as hypercar, you have to reverse. There is not enough time to really check. Like, 2 corners to go, so... Wait, I have 5 minutes to join the next server. Oh, that BMW was going slow. Yeah, but... Yeah, without ultra-wide monitor or like large field of view, you cannot see people coming, but of course you just quickly check the timing. Luckily he did check the timing, or maybe saw in the radar, so... Okay, anyway, we survived, all good. Yeah, let's see if that's gold 1, or still silver free. Still silver free. And into the championship. Gonna be quite a field. And I'm in the only silver free. This needs to go correctly. And I do hope that the Porsche will perform well in the wet. Anyway, thank you for the GGs, of course. I expected more difficult for race. 13% wet, what does that mean even? I'm just gonna change the VE here. Slightly wet. Slightly wet? What is slightly wet? It requires wets, right? If it's quali, you will never gain the tire temps. Ah, Joao, I wondered why you disappeared from the standings. Well, RIP. I hope you had at least a nice recovery drive. The wets should be on instantly, I think. Ah, the balance is good. Need to make most of the track limits.
I see, Joel. Now TC is fine, brakes are fine. So I had 458. Okay. Quit and join. And let's see how this goes. So 4 tires for quali and race. Ah, it's gonna be wet anyway, so wets are not limited. Going to be interesting. Hopefully the Aston struggles in the wet. I think Bessier is... Jack. Jack is in the Lexus. Marine is in the Aston. It's gonna be quite a fight. 40... yeah, that's wet. That's full wet. Was there anything else I wanted to do here? It's gonna be 10 minutes, which is 5 laps. I'm just gonna decrease the energy. And now it's afternoon. So it's wet track, but it's hotter than the dry track before from the morning. Nice. These very tiny dry patches under these bridges or the ad boards or whatever they are, they freak me out. Because it's actually dry for a very short distance. And I don't know what the front will do. Obviously it's gonna grip a little bit more for a moment. Bad decision from mediums, of course. I think this painted surface doesn't have any problems with the wet grip. This one maybe just slightly. No, I think for the wet it needs max rear brake bias. And it's Illumin Luka Berg, my fellow Slovene. Well, he's fast in ACC. Not sure if he still drives it or not.
I'm confused about this brake bias. Keep locking the fronts. Oh, the bug. The bug strikes again. Yeah, it went to overcast. I think it was it mostly cloudy before? And then when it goes to overcast, it does this weird stuff. Okay. So 10-minute quali. Yeah, drive. Oh, when it's raining. So a proper wet session for once. With the Viper. Done! What a great news! Looking forward to the patch, and great to hear that the cause has been identified. I mean, it is kind of realistic, but you know, it's kind of like if you have quite dark sunglasses and you suddenly take them off. You usually don't do that while driving a car, so. Maybe that's the experience when coming out of the Monaco tunnel, at least for half a second. These raindrops are tricking my brain into thinking there is less grip than there actually is. Anyway, Porsche, let's go. This work. Gotta love the momentary purple sector that instantly gets stolen. These painted curbs just have crazy grip. Not slippery at all. Wet FFB, I mean, I don't know how it feels in real life when it goes wet, so it just feels less grippy here. Another purple sector 2 to get stolen. still have it. Ah, Ciclari. And the Lexus is not bad, okay. Well, let's find some more tents. That track limit is just crazy. So difficult to get rid of it. A P5? And the Aston is... Why is the Aston that quick in the wet? That's surprising. I cleared the shader cache last time, like a week ago. Track limit on the brakes, okay. Wait, does it make sense to box and go out again? Is the first lap the fastest? People are pitting, and I guess the people that are pitting tested this. And I have not tested it. I mean, I have some corners to figure it out. Nah. Wait. I will just quickly... Come on. Mouse... Oh, come on. Got stuck. Yeah, now I will just about run out of time for extra lap. Ah, should have just continued. But it felt like I had more grip in the first lap. 18 seconds. 18, 17, 16... Yeah, I'll be out of time. Unlucky. But anyway, I don't think it would change much. Surely I have half a second somewhere, but it's not like that I can just gain it randomly without any extra practice in just one more attempt. No one improved after first lap. That's interesting. I mean, it should stop raining and it should dry out. Strategic cuts are possible, but it can easily invalidate the next lap as well. Ah, Quali, okay, yeah. Guess I'm like 2 seconds short. Ah. It was like 2/10. I thought... I thought I crossed with still like 2/10 to go. But maybe it goes checkered flag below 1 second. I don't know. Anyway. I think I'm safe P5 anyway. And it's better to be P5 than P4. Do we get pit stops in this race? Like, the start should be wet, but then it should dry out. I wonder. Visibility was bad. Ah, I can imagine. Yeah, let's see how quickly it dries out. Keep getting the track limits there on the brakes. That's surprising. Looking forward to the spray. A little bit of glucose. Right. I don't know what to calculate. To 15, let's say on average, or to 13, would be 21 laps. Could be more. We just take full tank just in case it goes very dry. There is no hypercars. I mean, if it's full dry, you get maximum maximum 21. Yeah. So let's just take 21. And new wets. Ah, I did take the pedal force at max, which I don't like that much. TC was kind of fine, maybe a bit more cut. No, it's gonna, yeah, for the start, let's say. And then it's gonna dry out. But how quickly? Probably not quickly enough. Just gonna get the stuff ready just in case. And now let's survive. And maybe gain some positions even. $15 to go when it got to damp, but yeah, it can be quite different. But damp is still, it's gonna be quite some overheating on the tire. Let's see anyway.
Yeah, thank you for the GLs. Let's have a nice one. Happy with that. Oh, the bug. What is the track? I need to assign a button to clear the cache. Obviously a joke, but wish it was that easy.
hard to get a good feeling for the car with all this spray. The Lexus didn't get a cut for that, then I don't know. The Aston is absolutely flying though. Don't copy the front guy cuts. Copy, 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 not copy. Looking forward to a red square with the DT written on it next to his name. The problem is that the drier it gets, the more I will struggle compared to Bessier and Havels. Are the miracles happen? That spray cleared off so quickly. The rears 70 Celsius, we're gonna scream. I'm focusing. It's like a game in Sector 1 and 2, but I lose a lot in Sector 3. Solid battle ahead, let's go. They're really going for it. Got him. Should have gone for it. But what happened to Bessier? He is really losing. Now what? All right. Porsche woke up somehow. But why? I thought the Porsche would turn on the rear tires the quickest, but maybe it's about the front grip as well. Interesting. I'm really confused about this pace balance, because the Aston really pulled away at the start. So do we have explanation of why Aston and Lexus are not dropping? I don't really understand. So yeah, this line should in theory, like if it's wetter, it should in theory cool down the surface a bit. But there is no way to directly measure and see the surface temperature. Because these temperatures on the left are kind of a combination of different layers, I think. So for now I'm just copying Ciclari. I'm trying my best to keep the rears from sliding. And it's damp, yeah. But 20 minutes. Like now we have, if I put slicks on, first lap will be terrible. We think it's time to consider dry tires. I don't know. We're doing 17s, 8 seconds of pace. On slicks, we would be doing maybe 4 seconds quicker. it's only 10 more laps to go. I don't know. Maybe worth it. But I would have to overtake cars, go out of the racing line. I don't know. Nobody bites. I don't know. I don't trust the damp. If my DR wasn't at stake, maybe I would YOLO it indeed. But at the moment it feels like I can maybe catch ACCELERE. I mean, if I was getting outpaced, but I'm gaining on ACCELERE. A little bit. Well, not previous lap, but I don't know. I don't think there is enough time, to be honest. If we had half an hour to go, maybe. But the wets are gonna get faster and faster still. Yeah, look. That's gonna be 2:16.0. Well, I had a cut, but I don't think there is enough time. 2:11s to 12s against 15s. I think Bessier just stole a purple sector 1 from me. The problem is the first lap or two. In these conditions, the mediums would be horrendous. kind of feels like these wets are turning into kind of slick intermediates now. Well, alright. Convenient. ACCELERE is absolutely nailing it. Four tenths. don't know. Do I have a chance here or not? 3 laps and a half to go, but I will need a mistake from him. What is the track? I just see white. Two tenths is not enough. Kevin is shouting and jumping. Okay. Copy, copy. Four times, that's enough, but maybe a bit too late. 2 to go. Well, it was enough, 5 laps to go. One to go. What's going on there? Oh no. I wasn't sure where I am with track limits, but anyway, across the line, P2. That was a really nice race from the trading lap times POV. GG Ciclari, great drive. What are my tires? 50 on the left, 90 plus wets on the rear. Actually, the rears were super stable for wets at this temperature. Oh, I think I'm at least gonna gain some rating, right? Hopefully. It was a nice fight from P5 to P2 as well. Like, just suddenly the Porsche just started to work. I don't know. I really thought it would be more about the rear temperatures and the Porsche struggling in the later stages, but the grip just never dropped. The start was good. Thank you everyone in the chat for GG's. What was that? Barrier slept. This turn 1 apex is always such like a pinch zone. Never a good idea to just be behind somebody right on the bumper, because yeah, there is great chance of getting bumped into him. So maybe I should have gone rather with the nose for that gap there. But all good. Mr. Fuchs knew what to do. Wait, in German, how to pronounce it? It's, if there is C behind H, then only H is red, right? Fuchs. Yeah, anyway. Right. But it was very close for the contact anyway. And then I was able to sweep around the outside and slot in. And the moves were just like, it wasn't really anything special, right? Just outbraking people. Still P4. Well, then it's hard to say I'm fluent when I'm not really speaking German with anyone, and I need to double check not to mess up, not to save my like if you use something every 5 years and then you use it once in a wrong way, you're gonna remember it in a wrong way, kind of. I don't know. That was well timed. Very well timed. Oof. Yeah, that partly well timed, partly lucky. Where did I get? I dived as well, right? I went for it. There is nothing you can do as a car on the outside. Really nothing. Beautiful. It was pixel. A pixel gap. Jack, copy. Yeah, I mean, well managed. And it was a very nice battle. And I wish I was slightly closer to Kevin in the first part of the race, because I would have caught up. Like, there was 3-second gap, and in the end it was... What was the gap in the end? Like 1.5? So there was potential for a good battle, but well, I was on a mission to lap everybody at Interlagos with LMP2, so couldn't practice. Anyway, are we gold 1? We are not gold 1 yet. You gained driver rank. Okay, that's good to know. At least I gained. Maybe because of Quali again. Because Quali, for whatever reason, counts as a loss, even if you gain positions. That's still so stupid in my opinion. Maybe if you qualified at the back of the grid, if you want to penalize people doing that, then maybe the minus should only work for like bottom half, but not for top half. Spray was impossible at the back. Yeah, especially with the bug, right? I mean, when it went to overcast, even at the front, the spray was impossible. But I have to say that the Porsche is good somehow. On this setup, it works so well. Like with the Mustang, I struggled immensely with the fixed setup, but the Porsche just, it works. Even the understeer on the exit can be kind of offset by using all the rotation on the entry. Yeah, and I had giga traction, but I don't know why, because the Porsche should overheat the rears the first. But the traction just kept improving. It was so beautiful. Standings. I forgot if it's 2 drop rounds. But good to start like this. Will be quite a fight with Kevin. I wonder if some other people kind of gave up. Like, who did we have? We had Andonowski, we had Leiden, we had Huben, we had some others who did this series. Yeah, Logi, exactly. But something about the rear on the Porsche just keeps it going. Either way, I'm gonna call it a night. It's been a long stream. This might be my only stream this week. On the weekend I'm gone. And on Thursday there is maybe 50-50 chance I do the championship, the WEC championship. But I don't want to do the GTEs. Yeah, maybe I'll just do the Sebring one to prepare for VMS, which is at Sebring as well for round 2. Yeah, there is overheating the rears and there is hitting the rears more. Yeah. Potentially. I just really thought that the drop off after or above 70 and 80 degrees would be much more catastrophic. And that never happened. Was a pleasant car to drive. What's the next round? Championships. GT3 fixed. Yeah, you see, this is the bug. I thought it was the national layout, but
in the end it was the full one. Schedule. We have Sebring as well. Porsche at Sebring. Is that a good thing or not? Not sure if it is. We will see. Well, anyway, maybe see you on Thursday, maybe see you next Tuesday. Either way, have a very nice upcoming days. And thank you for watching, and the likes and the subs, much appreciated. See you. Bye bye.